Aliens, actually. It is a comedy by Luke Alexander, who has joined us today. Our characters are
Grandpa Glockenspiel.
I'm Polly.
I'm Robert.
I'm Chet.
And I'm Filbert, a younger Glockenspiel.
all right. Without further ado, let's start. Scene 1. The bedroom of 6-year-old twins, Polly and Robert. The twins are laying in their beds, both sick with fever. Grandpa Glockenspiel, old, crumpled, happy about it, and ready to exploit it, sits in a chair opposite twins.
Some people think the universe is made out of yarn. Or was it string? No, it must be yarn. That's why us old folks is known for our knitting. Knitting the fabric of reality. But what is a fabric of reality? Is it yarn? Is it silk? Maybe a nice polyester blend? Really, what I'm asking is, do we have any way of knowing if the universe sheds microfibers? And if so, are we doing anything to offset the universe's carbon footprint?
He's doing it again.
Grandpa.
Children, it's so nice to see you. I'm so glad you could come.
You came here to visit us, Grandpa.
What?
You came here to watch us while Mommy and Daddy are at space work.
Space work? Is there not enough space for them to work from home or something?
No, Grandpa, space work. Like work in space.
Oh, my, yes, of course.
Grandpa.
What?
Grandpa.
Grandpa, my tummy hurts.
Grandpa, my tummy hurts more than Polly's.
Now, children, don't fuss. It's not a competition. Be assured, if it were, my chronic back pain would blow the both of you out of the water.
Grandpa, what does chronic mean?
I think he's talking about drugs.
Grandpa Glockenspiel turns to the audience.
Other people still think there are a bunch of universes. Maybe they're the same people that think about yarn theory. I don't know. Don't quote me. But yes, a bunch of universes infinitely similar or different to this one.
Grandpa, stop talking to our stuffed animals.
Yeah, Grandpa, only we can do that. They don't know you.
Maybe in one universe, you're actually listening to me.
Grandpa, Robert won't stop flicking boogers on me.
No, she's imagining it, Grandpa.
In all this mess of theorems, I've found one that jiggles the tapioca in my tummy like no other. The theory that the universe, or universes, or what have you, isn't made out of yarn, but out of love. Or it was made out of yarn that itself is made out of love. Can you make yarn out of love? At the very least, the idea is that the human experience, though characterized by obscene acts of violence, cruelty, indecency, idiocy, laziness, perversion, perturbation, absorption, repulsion, absolution, and exfoliation, is underlined and boldface typed by love. Not italics, though. Never been a fan of italics. Nevertheless, it's a theory that some might consider baseless, others might consider tasteless, while others might consider it absolutely bitter and disgusting. Others still might take the theory better with a mixer. I prefer theory straight, or on the rocks, or with a twist of lemon, maybe a cherry if appropriate. Some people even fare better taking the theory by suppository, though I'm afraid the threshold of abuse is severely raised if... what was I on about again?
Grandpa, I'm bored. Tell us a story.
Yeah, Grandpa, tell us a story.
Grandpa Glockenspiel snaps out of it and looks back to the kids.
Oh, a story. Story. What a great idea.
It was my idea, Grandpa.
Of course it was. You've always been the brighter one.
Grandpa, it wasn't even her idea. She's lying.
Now, let me tell you a very special story, children. It's the story of how your grandmother and I met.
Oh, great. Is this going to be some long drawn out adventure full of lovable characters and memorable quotes that we originally dismissed as being corny and gooey, but instead is full of excitement and adventure and journeys to all kinds of crazy places we can barely imagine?
No, not at all.
Oh.
It's fairly brief and was during a time when nearly the entire world was locked in their homes with an almost complete ban on outside human contact. No grand adventure at all.
Sounds pretty boring, Grandpa.
If you were lucky enough to be bored.
So why was everyone stuck at home? Was it some sort of like global outbreak, like some sort of disease?
What? A disease locking down the entire world and threatening tons of human lives while thrusting inequities in everybody's face and pumping the general populace with enough anxiety to make a puppy cry by emotional osmosis? No, that's absolutely preposterous.
Oh, okay.
It was aliens, actually.
Aliens, Grandpa?
Yes, aliens. Crazy, tiny, little bloodthirsty aliens floating around in the air, scarcely bigger than a fly. And if you didn't look closely, you wouldn't even notice them. But except the neon purple ones, of course.
Scene 2. The messy studio apartment of a young man named Chet, a walking catastrophe. A young Filbert Glockenspiel in a full hazmat suit knocks at the door.
Coming, Filbert.
The voice of Robert interrupts the story.
Filbert? But your name is Grandpa.
My name is Filbert. I'm your grandpa. I'm not everyone's grandpa.
I don't know about that. I bet you could be everybody's grandpa.
Okay.
The story resumes, and Filbert knocks on the door again.
Coming, Grandpa.
Chet, do you ever find it odd that everybody calls me grandpa?
Not at all, dude. Not at all. I just kind of feel like you're everybody's grandpa. You know what I mean?
Much better.
Filbert strips off his hazmat suit and tosses it into the fireplace.
How many of those we have left?
I don't know, Gramps. Like 11? We're low on kerosene, too. Who knew burning hazmat suits would be so difficult? Am I right? Grandpa, why is your face so flushed? You know, that's one of the symptoms of alien infection.
It's not that. I have butterflies in my belly.
Chet's eyes grow huge, and he pulls out a sharpened wooden stake.
I was worried it'd come to this. It's not butterflies. You've got a belly full of aliens, Gramps, and you know what I've got to do.
Chad, put that down, you doofus. I'm talking about love.
Dude, what?
I met someone, or I caught a glance of someone. By pure chance of clumsiness, our butts brushed paths. That butt touch told me everything I needed to know. When afterwards she swung around all embarrassed and thought the thick see-through face windows of our hazmat suits, I saw the most beautiful woman I ever attempted to lay eyes on. It looked like she was giggling too.
Chet sighs in relief and tosses the wooden stake aside, bringing Filbert in for a hug.
Thank God, Grandpa. I don't think I had it in me to gut you like a fish. I couldn't even gut a fish like a fish when I had it in for biology. Anyways, dude, do you have any idea where this lady came from? Or going? Or whatever?
Oh, that's the best part. She went into the apartment next door.
Her? Grandpa, have you not heard her singing in the shower?
What?
Chet ushers Filbert over to a far corner of the apartment.
Listen, put your ear on this wall by this concerning black fungus I intend to completely ignore. She's about to shower. I can hear her. I can hear water slopping through the building's awful plumbing.
Filbert sets his ear to the wall and listens to the woman serenading herself tone deafly.
So, these are the dulcet tones that have haunted my dreams for the last 2 months.
Oh, man, I should have stabbed you when I had the excuse. Scene
3. Back in the bedroom. Grandpa Glockenspiel is still staring at the audience.
And then we sat on opposite ends of the room with our laptops on our laps, shopping online and our phones in our hands, judging the cherry-picked lives of people we'd hardly ever talked to or never met, and the television playing the 18th episode of a show we'd never paid attention to with nary a word said between us either. Yes, those were the days. Enjoying what semblance of human contact and normal life we still had. So fortunate were we. So fortunate we were. Not like you kids today with your neural linkage and your holographic gerbils and your fourth dimensional badminton games and your swimming cars. Bah! Everybody always thought it would be flying cars, but no, it had to actually end up being swimming cars. Just get a boat.
Grandpa, what's a boat?
Grandpa Glockenspiel turns to the kids.
Wouldn't you like to know?
So, Grandpa, was that the whole story?
What story?
About you meeting Grandma in a hazmat suit.
Oh, oh, that wasn't your grandmother in the hazmat suit. It was just some woman. I think it was a woman. Could have easily been a man with a very high voice. The short of it is, I realized that I really needed to get with somebody. So I went online and found this beautiful woman from Bolivia, and we spent months video chatting and making Chet very uncomfortable. And then she said her father needed a kidney transplant after the aliens signed a very small peace treaty. And then she scammed me out of $40,000 and my left kidney. Well, then one of the nurses that helped me donate my kidney to her father, if that was even her father, I'm not really sure, told me that I had the prettiest kidney she'd ever seen, and then we got married. But we divorced after a year because it turned out she just wanted to emigrate to the United States.
But what about Grandma?
What about her?
You said the story was about her.
Oh, yes, of course. Well, not a month after the divorce was finalized, I sat in a bar, well inebriated, and this terrible, tone-deaf assault on my ears caught my attention. It was the woman, or the man, honestly, I'm still not really sure if they were either. But when I went up to them and they remembered me as that guy in the apartment during the alien invasion that farted really stinkily all the time, they set me up with the third most beautiful woman I'd ever seen. And that woman? Abraham Lincoln.
Huh?
Grandpa, are you sure that woman wasn't Grandma?
Grand mal seizure? I assure you, I haven't had one, though I am very old. Yes, of course it was your grandmother. All this time, had I just talked to the ambiguous person who bumped butts with me years before, I might have just found the woman of my third best dreams sooner.
But, Grandpa, how do you know they even would have known Grandma? How do you know it didn't all just work out the best way it could have?
Indeed, child, maybe it did. Well, you've got a point.
Grandpa Glockenspiel turns back to the audience.
It probably did all work out. Also, their grandmother had her own string of crazy divorces. I think she might have even donated an organ there herself before we had found each other. We only considered each other as sloppy 16ths, if I'm being perfectly honest. After all is said and done, I still miss my kidney.
End of play.